Let's design a simple Twitch logo. So by the end of this video, you should be able to master the art of using fonts. You should be able to remove backgrounds of any images. You should be able to remove colors, and you should be able to manipulate backgrounds to your taste. So let's move on. Let's jump right into PixelLab. This is our PixelLab. So I'll click the default design, and this is our default PixelLab homepage. What I'm going to be doing, we're going to remove this new text. Okay, I've removed that. So change our image sizing. So we use the width of 1280 and height of 720. Okay, now is that okay? Now what we're going to do, let's import our images I'm going to be needing for this design. So I'll go over to my pictures folder. So I have the image, this file. So I have this simple image here. So what we want to do, we want to remove the background of this image so we can use it to work more effectively. Now when we remove the background, it's not going to be as easy as the other background we have been removing, as old backgrounds you have been removing, due to the fact that, see, the image now looks shabby, right? The image looks blur, very blur. So we increase the tolerance. After I increase the tolerance, one more thing we're going to be doing, we have to be able to manipulate the background to fit this particular image. So the image right now doesn't look really nice, but depending on your background that you use will bring out the real image right here, right? So I've removed the background we don't want. So let's start our designing. So what we want to do next, we want to bring out, use a background that match. So go over to this background section. I'm going to take background from our gallery. My photos folder and get an image for my pictures. So all these images for my pictures, I got them from cleanpng.com. You can go there and search for background images, or you go over to FreePic. So nice. You see, this background that we choose fits into the image. So now nobody's going to notice that, oh, there is some mistakes where we moved the background of the image, right? So it fits into it well. So when you choose a right background for a particular image, after you have removed the background of the image, right, and you choose another background that's nice with it, it's only going to bring out the image more, right? It's going to bring out the image more and make it look more beautiful. And let's go over to editing and adding our text. To add our text, we'll go over to the text section and add text. So the text we want to add, so we want to add uncaged. We'll start with on. So we want to use different font for this, right? So in this video, I said we're going to learn how to manipulate different fonts and make them match and make sense together. So I have a font here, or this font which I got from dafont.com. So you can go over to dafont.com and search the font. So the name of this font is Sector. So I have a font here titled on. So we want to position this over here. So let's bring this, let's move it by 15 pixels. So it will move fast. right? So what much want to do, want to increase the padding of this. Okay, now let's also bring it into it. So right, so we have the uncaged nice and good over there. So we want to increase the text sizing 33. So let's add one more text to this. So the next one I want to bring in, want to bring add another text to this, but we're going to be using a different font, right? That's why I separated them. So I want to write on cage, but I'm going to use different fonts for this, right? Different font. So it's going to bring out the logo, right? It's going to bring out the logo and make the design look more professional. So we're going to change the font to the popular font, to the popular Avengers font. So when you search Avengers, I think you're going to get out that. So I have the font, the name of the font is Avengers. So we want to increase the padding because it's as if they slice it over here, so the A is not fully out. So let's bring it out. So go to over the padding. Now let's position this also. Let's try bringing it close. Let's move it, let's say move more faster. Also, what we want to be doing here, we also want to be increasing this sizing, right, of the A to 40. 40 is okay. Then now we want to move this. Nice. So you can use your grid if you want to map the movement of it. So let the C and the A top be at the same line. So there it is. We assign it to the same line. So we have the UNCA right there. So also want to increase the sizing. We can increase this to 40 also, meaning we have to increase the sizing of our A. So 50 will be okay. Now the normal text, we'll leave it at 40. Then we're going to increase this to 50 and make sure that in the same line. So we'll leave this text at 40 and increase this to 50. So we have this over here. So we want to tap the old text, that's UNC, and copy this. Then we want to edit this, that is want to complete it with the old text. So we have this over here, GED. Okay, let's position this. So I have this here, nice, uncaged. Right, we have this uncaged over here. So one more thing that we will also need to do while moving this, if you don't want the A and the rest of the line to be the same line, if you want to make, you can also move the A upward a little bit. So let's move this forward. So we have the uncaged. So the next one to spell, want to add attraction to this. Attraction. Want to spell attraction. Now attract. So we have attraction, but why we're not going to be needing this A because we already have A there, right? So that's why we make the A big in the first place. So we're just going to have attraction here. So we have this over here. So we're going to change the font. So we're going to be using the Avengers font also. So we have this over here, uncaged. So it's going to be like uncaged attraction. Right, you're going to get it. Now that all makes it logo. Now our logo is coming out nice. So let's position this. Let it be close. So we have this here, uncaged attraction. Now the N here seems it was sliced, so let's increase the padding. Okay, increase the right padding also. So we have this over here, uncaged attraction, right? Anybody gonna get this, right? So that is it. I'm done for this logo. So you can play around with the logo and add any stuff you want to add. But one or two we want to also be doing, one thing we should also be doing here, we want to merge this together. So that's what you should remember. Now we want to merge everything together. Now I'm not merging the face of the line, just merging the main stuff here. So after I'm done with merging them, I want to give them a stroke. I want to give them a stroke, right? So one other thing we can also do, we can also give them any texture of our choice. So I'm going to use the same background as the texture, but I'm going to rotate it. Okay, let's flip it. So we have this over here. So you want to click maintain ratio. It's nice, but I don't think it's okay. I don't think it's okay. What I want to do is I would like to change the texture. Texture okay, but the texture didn't mix into the background properly. So you want to change it to use a texture that fits into the background properly. So you can basically play around with this. If you don't want the texture, you can just delete that, right, and use your stroke, right? Basically you can just play around whatever you want to do. So we have this nice and good over here, uncaged attraction. That is it. So I've simply finished the simple logo. Now if many times you also if you also want to make the background transparent, okay, it's going to work just fine. Make it transparent. Right now the line might seem a bit distorted, but when it is used in other backgrounds, it's going to be very nice. Like let's say we use it in a black background, use it in any background I want. It's gonna be nice. It's gonna come out really nice and really cool. So that is it. We can decide to also change this text. You can decide to remove the texture here. So we don't need the texture anymore. Okay, decide to give it stroke. So can you decide to play around with this and see what works best for you, right? So that is it for this video.